Sebastian Rogers. Have they found Sebastian Rogers yet? Well, y'all, what we gonna do until they find Sebastian Rogers? We are going to keep his name out there. Okay? So y'all come in and we're going to talk about everything because autistic boy by the name of Sebastian Rogers is still missing. Okay? He is still missing. Now, some of us, we've been looking for him for a long time. We don't got hydrated, exhausted, but you can't give up, y'all. They want y'all to give up. And we cannot stop thinking, and we cannot give up on Sebastian because his dog miss him. Now, this look like a pretty young picture of Sebastian Rogers. Like a pretty young picture of Sebastian. Where is Sebastian Rogers? Sebastian Rogers is still missing. Now, I do believe the reason why they are stepping back because they don't have enough evidence to reel in the right person yet. They don't have enough bait to reel in the right person. And it's Sebastian Rogers' case. Y'all happy Friday. Hope everybody enjoying their day and their weekend, their off day, their work day, or what family, whatever. Okay. Now investigators in this Sebastian Rogers mentioned that they had covered everywhere for Sebastian. 10,000 to 12,000 miles when they first started looking for Sebastian. The parents been on YouTube. They done been on Facebook. They done been on TikTok. They'll think about opening up a channel. They don't have their own podcast. And the question is, what happened to 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers? Okay, he been gone too long, y'all. He been gone too long. Sebastian been gone entirely too long from the house. Now, Sebastian Rogers really don't have to take that medicine, y'all. So, okay, he can do without the medicine. Okay, he can do without the medicine. Now, we're gonna track back to the places. A couple things that we're gonna track back into looking for Sebastian Rogers. Cause we can't give up, y'all. We can't get hydrated. We can't race to try to find a person, okay? That's one thing you can't do is race. They don't look in the ponds, to people's homes, to the woods. They have searched and searched for Sebastian in their area. Excuse me, y'all. And a lot of hundreds of search for Sebastian Rogers. And you have to ask yourself, where is Sebastian Rogers? Okay. Now, they claim that they had close to 1,500 searchers, okay, looking for Sebastian Rogers. They had 1,305 documents. And then we have additional people And I'm sure we have got more on the public safety side. So everybody is looking for Sebastian Rogers. Now, the first 2 days they logged 2,000 feet miles, 2,000 miles, and they still haven't had enough to extrapolate all of this, referring to the data. Where is Sebastian Rogers? It's crazy. Crazy. Now we have missing kids don't left home, but guess what? They back home. Okay? By the grace of God, they back home. Now, just like Keith Sweat said, something just ain't right. They was putting out here that it's possible, it's probably going to be 10 to 12,000 mile search. Okay? Now, when that young man first went missing, their mama immediately called her husband. Okay? And then they called the police department. Now, they don't knock on doors, interview people. There's still no sign of Sebastian so far. And so far, this case is something about interesting parents in this case. Are they taking this serious? Are they taking it serious, y'all? Are they taking this serious? This autistic teenager disappeared overnight, y'all. Between 25 and 26 of February. And here we are, have celebrated the independence of the 4th of July. Y'all done been firecrackering and everything. How could they have fun without Sebastian? How could they have fun without Sebastian? He been gone since February, and here we are in July. We gonna say he been gone 5 months, huh? Okay, instead of February, we gonna start February. We gonna say March, April, May, June, July. 5 months. Sebastian been missing. 5 months. And what has the family been doing to find this beautiful child? Been missing since February from his home. When the mom woke up, the mom found his bedroom empty. Ain't that crazy, y'all? Just think about the parents. I'm talking to the parents and the folks who have to take care of kids. When y'all wake up the next day and I'm chilling in that bed, it scare you, don't it? It scare you. Like, what the world? You don't look out around the house. You don't look in the backyard, up on the bed, in the sheds, in the car. Y'all don't look everywhere for that kid. Okay? The mom found his bedroom empty when she went to wake him for school on a Monday. I can't understand is what happened on the fun day with his cousin and his mom, and I don't know who else. Now, like I said earlier, part of the content, he is an autistic kid. Okay. Now, I want to give a shout out to all my family and friends and cousins and you and Facebook, Instagram. I want to get all my friends, fans some love, especially from other countries who've been following along with Lanita in this case. Now I had other cases to deal with beside one, so I pop back on one on, but I don't never forget about them now. But I will talk about them for y'all. Keep the awareness out there. His mother found his bedroom empty when she went to wake him up for school. Who is Mr. Wade? Wagner said they were not given up hope of finding the boy alive. I believe he's alive. I believe he's alive, y'all. I believe he's alive. Mr. Wagner said they was not giving up on him. We're not stopping. We're working on leads and information from TBI. So that's where y'all trying to get y'all information from TBI and the sheriff office. And we got teams on standby to go right now. To go right where? Where is Sebastian? Is he safe? Is he safe? That's what I want to know. Is he safe? Because the stepdaddy made a comment to the father. I don't know whether to believe the father or not. I don't know who believe, but the things that they saying is not gonna help bring this boy back. Like I told y'all, we got to find him. The interview come after law enforcement appear to scale back their public efforts to find Sebastian. They're not gonna tell y'all nothing because y'all taking stuff and y'all running with it and y'all turning it over backwards and y'all making it up and it getting worse. Meanwhile, the volunteer searches have been organized while Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, he said he has been searching every day for his boy. Now, this is what I got a question for you, Daddy. Daddy, I got a question. Where is your son? Where's your son? And what do you know that you could tell us about this situation? His mother, Katie Proudfoot, and stepfather, who we gonna revisit soon. Katie Proudfoot and stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, have recently, after this happened to their son, they left the family home. Yes, they left the family home so that Mr. Proudfoot can return to work. But Mr. Proudfoot has a child missing. Okay? And they want him to come to work. This man's child is missing, and they left it home, not looking for Sebastian, but to her husband's job. So mom got a child missing, and she left it home and went to her husband, returned to her husband's job. What she go on his job for? What she go on his job for? I'm just saying, what did she go on his job for? She needs to stay there and look for her child while the husband go to work. Now, let's go back. That part, I don't understand, y'all. That part, I just don't understand. Hold on, y'all. He went to work. The daddy went to work, as most men do. Somebody whoever got to make that money got to make that money. But he went to work. He went to work. So Sebastian is missing from his room, missing from his home, and the mom returned back to work with the father. Yeah, she went to work. She stopped looking for her son. She went to work with her husband. In a separate interview on Monday, the mother said her son could be anywhere and that she would continue to look for him. What you mean by he could be anywhere? I ain't gonna say that about my children. Some had have been my children were young like that. They were missing. I'm not gonna say that they can be anywhere. They supposed to be in that bed. They supposed to be at home, not go anywhere. So what we're gonna do is, people, is find out where Sebastian is. And so I want to go back here because Nancy Grace gave them some questions. And these two people acting weird to me. We're going to go over because Nancy asked them some good questions. Excuse me. The way they acted now is not how they acted later. The way they acted now is not how they acted later when they were doing all of those other interviews. So what we're gonna do is take the questions and we're gonna take these questions back what Nancy asked them. Because Nancy asked them some questions that they wouldn't answer these questions like this earlier. They weren't answering these questions earlier. Excuse me, y'all. I knew I couldn't afford a house on my own. Gotta get a commercial. This is her commercial, but Mom, they are looking at, I'm watching their demeanor. And both of them, Mom looked like she got to look down to read her lines. Daddy paying attention to the chat on the other phone. She looking at the other phone. Now she looking down. And she got to read her script so she can say the right thing. But there's still no Sebastian. So let's listen to what Nancy Grace asked them and work it out.
Because of my whereabouts.
He was told, allegedly, by law enforcement to not to take a polygraph test. That tell you the truth, man. You gotta tell the truth. I want y'all to do y'all believe it? What kind of question did they ask the mom and the daddy on the polygraph test? I hope they didn't say, Are you Sebastian Rogers' mother? Yes. Was he at home? Yes. I wonder what kind of questions did they pick and choose to ask the parents. Now listen to what this man just said. I'm gonna put
I
this.
did not need one.
Hold up, y'all. I got that. He got too many. I ain't never seen no stepdaddy got so many answers. He got answer to everything. He had the most answer to everything. Like like he the father, and he took over the responsibility as Sebastian father. He can discipline Sebastian. He can do what he want to do to Sebastian. Yes. Only thing Nancy asked him, did he want to take a polygraph test? And listen to what he said.
You two sleep in the same bedroom.
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend.
You were not home.
No,
Okay,
ma'am.
so where were you?
Hold on. Okay, look, 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 look. I'm gonna pull this back up here. I'm gonna pull it back up here. For those who don't know who Sebastian Rogers, that's who we're talking about right here. He's a 15-year-old poet, autistic young man that is missing. Okay, been missing almost 5 months. He went missing on February the 26th. Okay. Last seen wearing black sweatpants. So he went to bed with his black sweatpants on, black sweatshirt. He went to, so that means that he went to bed fully dressed. Okay? He had on his glasses, no shoes. Sebastian left with his small flashlight. Amber Alert issue came out on February the 27th. Y'all, the boy went to bed fully dressed. He the type don't like to be walking without his shoes on his feet. Yes. He went to bed fully dressed with sweatpants on and black sweat shirts. And he had on his glasses. Well, it sounded like me, he was fully dressed.
I'm going to go to two special guests joining us, Katie and Chris Proudfoot. This is Sebastian's biological mother and his stepfather, who were in their home with Sebastian when he goes missing. To both of the Proudfoots, thank you for being with us. I want to go straight back to when Sebastian goes missing. Miss Proudfoot, I understand that the day before, which would have been Sunday, if I've got the information correct, that you guys went out, you went to dinner, you went to somewhere, I believe you said BJ's, where he had a, quote, colossal popcorn. Then you came home that night, and around 9 p.m., you tell Sebastian to go to bed. He says, okay, he goes to his room. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
That night, I understand from previous statements you've made that you went to bed around midnight. Is that correct?
It is.
Yeah, I heard that. Mama went to bed around midnight.
And to you, Mr. Proudfoot, Chris Proudfoot, did you also go to bed at midnight, or before or after?
No, ma'am. We went to bed around the same time as we were on the phone together.
Hold up. So y'all was on the phone together, so y'all went to bed around the same time. So at 12 o'clock, Chris Proudfoot, the man right here, the stepfather, allegedly wasn't in the house, period. Okay? And they was on the phone like lovebirds. You know how you talk to your husband on the phone. But he's not in the house. So y'all can't count if he wasn't in the if the stepfather wasn't in the house. Okay? So the only person know what happened is her. Cause he wasn't there. He was out of town. Okay?
And
He was not home.
please excuse any of my questions. I'm simply trying to find out more about that night. Do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend.
You were not home.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So where were you, Mr. Proudfoot?
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
But I was in Memphis, Tennessee. He had like he couldn't talk, didn't he? I ain't saying he didn't, and I'm just saying he had like he couldn't answer her question. Hold on, back that back a little bit. She said, "Where were you?" And he said, "I wasn't at the house." I was listen.
Memphis, Tennessee.
Hold on, take it back a little bit.
Do you also go to bed at midnight, or before or after?
No, ma'am. We went to bed around the same time as we were on the phone together.
And
He was not home.
please excuse any of my questions. I'm simply trying to find out more about that night. Do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
He wasn't actually in the home at all that weekend.
Why he couldn't say that? Why he couldn't say that he wasn't in the home that weekend? Why she had to say that he wasn't in the home that weekend?
You were not home.
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
So where were you, Mr. Proudfoot?
I was in Memphis, Tennessee.
Yeah, like he had to think about that, didn't he? I was Memphis, Tennessee. So what time did Chris leave to go to Memphis, Tennessee? What time did he leave?
How far away is that?
3 hours and 37 minutes from Georgia.
Only 3 hours. That 3 hours do seem like 4 hours. That's a long way to me. But it ain't but 3 hours. Okay. 37 minutes. So it's 3 hours from his job. Why? I just want to ask the question. Did he leave a whole day gone from her? If he only worked 3 hours from Memphis, Tennessee.
Doorstep to doorstep.
And what were you doing in Memphis?
Working.
So that's his alibi. Uh, That's his alibi. He was at work. So what time he had to be at work? What time did he leave the house? I'm still asking that question. Because if he didn't go on a date with them when she took him to the fun things, I want to ask y'all a question. Was Seth there what was a Seth alibi when they was at the different places where Sebastian was having a good time? I just asked that question. I'm just saying, what was Seth?
Where do you work?
I'm currently working, or was working, a the St. Jude Children's Hospital construction project.
Yes, I'm very familiar with St. Jude's. You said you were working there. Are you no longer working there?
Right now, that's up in the air.
Well, you've been gone ever since Sebastian went missing, so I understand. When you are home, do you two sleep in the same bedroom?
Yes, ma'am.
Is this a 3-bedroom home?
Yes, ma'am.
Where is your room as it relates to Sebastian's room?
It's on the opposite end of the house. The master bedroom's on one side, and the other 2 bedrooms are on the other side of the house.
Okay, so your master bedroom is on one side of the house and Sebastian's room is on the other side of the house. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, you have a 3rd bedroom that I believe you keep for your other daughter. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that Faith? Is your other daughter named Faith?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So where is Faith's bedroom as it relates to Sebastian's bedroom?
And how old is Faith? And what? And see, I can understand her asking her that question, but she asking the question, Nancy asking the question as if Faith was in the house. That's the way she answered that question. So I wonder why is she mentioning Faith if Faith wasn't at home. If Faith wasn't at home, it doesn't matter where her room is. Because she wasn't there that day. Right, y'all? Okay.
It's in the back side of the house. Sebastian's bedroom
So
is on the
it's-
front side of the house.
Okay. So his bedroom is away from Faith's bedroom and away from your master bedroom. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Is Sebastian's room on a top floor or a ground level?
We have a ranch style house. It's a 1.5 story, so everything is flat, and then you have the bonus room above the garage.
Okay. So his is on ground floor, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That morning, was there any sign of a break-in through a window, a front door, a back door, a sliding glass door, anything at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No sign of forced entry. Was anything taken from the home at all?
Not that we could find anything. We couldn't find anything missing.
I want to circle back to Sebastian's shoes regarding if anything was missing. Do you have a burglar alarm?
No, ma'am.
Why did it
Have a
take
ring
them?
doorbell key?
Hold on. Why did it take them so long to answer that question, y'all? Y'all got to help me with this clue, okay? This is called Clue. And I'm going to need y'all help because it's a missing person. Now, Nancy asked them, listen, y'all, back. Let's take it back. Nancy said, do y'all have an alarm? She didn't answer. The mom didn't answer. No, the stepdad didn't answer. So why did they hesitate about that answer, about the alarm? I need to hear from y'all in the comment section, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That morning, was there any sign of a break-in through a window, a front door, a back door, a sliding glass door, anything at all?
No, ma'am.
Okay. No sign of forced entry. Was anything taken from the home at all?
Not that we could find anything. We couldn't find anything missing.
I want to circle back to Sebastian's shoes regarding if anything was missing. Do you have a burglar alarm?
Why it take them so long to say no, ma'am? Why do I believe they have an alarm? No, most people got some kind of ring or alarm or something. And it took her a long time to answer that. And then the dad like, oh no, I'm not gonna answer this. Stepdad like, no, I'm not gonna answer this question. I'm gonna let you answer this question.
Kim?
No, ma'am.
Come on. Y'all got an autistic child and y'all don't have no kind of alarm on your house? You don't have no alarm on your house and you don't have no ring. And anything could happen to him at any given moment. I believe y'all have an alarm. I really do think y'all got some kind of alarm on the house. Or a ring or something.
Okay. Have the two of you taken a polygraph?
I have.
I have not.
Y'all, they tickle me how they answer these questions. That's why I'm laughing. Hold on, I'm laughing because the way they are answering these questions, they kind of like, okay, I'm waiting till you say something. Are you gonna say something? Who gonna answer this question? He hasn't taken a polygraph, but she has. She has, but he hasn't taken one. Let's see why.
Would you be willing to?
I've offered and volunteered on many occasions to take a polygraph, and I was told directly by law enforcement because of my whereabouts, I did not need one.
Well, if you was in the right place, you ain't no law enforcement got to tell you to take a lie detector or not, a polygraph test or not. You don't have to ask. You didn't even have to put the law enforcement in this. You're a grown man. If you ain't did and your whereabouts were where you said were at located, then take the polygraph.
I understand. Miss Proudfoot, did you pass your polygraph?
I did.
Those questions out of the way. Was Faith in the home when Sebastian went missing?
No,
No.
ma'am.
Well, I'm glad you answered that question, uh, Nancy, because I was wondering why you answered that question because the little girl went in the house. His little girl wasn't there when Sebastian went missing, okay?
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
No.
Now that time we got no, no ma'am. So don't nobody have a key to your house. Your sister, your cousin, no, your mama, nobody has a key to your house. Wow, y'all ain't gonna get these people no. Hold on, y'all ain't gonna get them no kind of clue, are you?
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, but
Well, y'all, her story sound legit right there. It's her story sound okay to me right there. Sound like, but it's about right, but it's I'm not taking up for her, but I'm just saying what she's saying. It sounds like it's the right thing to do.
the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they sleep? My name is Hannah, and
Oh, look at the doggy. Hold on, y'all.
these are my Mary Grove retractable awnings.
They have a big pit.
Hold on. So the dogs have a bed, have a pen that they sleep in. Okay.
In the home when Sebastian went went missing?
No.
No, ma'am.
Does anyone else have a key to your home beside your immediate family?
No.
No, ma'am.
That night, Miss Proudfoot, at midnight when you went to bed, what did you do until midnight?
I had been reading a chapter that I needed to, and I had been talking to my husband on the phone. I was falling asleep on him, so that's when he told me it was around midnight. He told me to go ahead and put the dogs up and go to bed, and that's what I did. I got up, put the dogs where they sleep, and then I myself went to bed.
Where do they?
They have a big pen.
A pen.
I thought the dog slept in there with Sebastian. I thought they sleep in their pen in the room with Sebastian.
Is it inside or outside?
Inside.
Inside. That reminds me of another question. Do you guys have a motion sensor light or lights on the outside of your house?
Yes, we do have lights on the outside of our house.
Did they activate that night?
They're not motion censored. We have lights.
Were they on that night?
No,
Okay.
ma'am.
Were they on that night? So the lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any?
Y'all just don't do no kind of security work at y'all house. Y'all got to do something now. Come on, mama. Give us some kind of clue. You haven't gave us no kind of clue. No sensor light, no light was on, no alarm, no ring, no nothing. And you have a child there. And you as a female there.
Lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
There's
Yeah.
2 lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh yeah, those are on.
Oh, there's a light above the garage that's on at all times?
There's 2. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those lights were on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was
Yes, ma'am.
trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the 2 flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all. We now don't believe that 2 flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're very correct.
You see how he smiled a little bit? I believe. Golly, I don't know why I believe. Hold on, y'all. Look at that smile on his face. That grin on his face. See, he don't have no grin now. But wait until she asked him about the light everybody said they saw.
The lights were out the whole night?
Yes, ma'am. We don't typically turn the floodlights on.
Were there any lights outside the house on at all?
Just my little solar lights that we have in the garden.
There's
Yeah.
2 lights on the side of the house above the garage that are on at all times.
Oh yeah, those are on.
Oh, there's a light above the garage that's on?
See, I don't know. It's something about the mama, y'all. It's something about. Man, he look like to me. I'll be honest with you. To me, he is more truthful than she is to me, y'all. I'm not saying that he's telling the truth. I'm saying I believe he is more truthful and think better than the mom. The mom keep forgetting. Oh, I forgot. Either I didn't know. Oh no, I didn't know it was called it.
on at all times?
There's two. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so those lights were on?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. The reason I'm asking is because I heard you say earlier, Mr. Proudfoot, that your neighbors have been very, very forthcoming with their Ring camera info. And I was trying to determine if any lights were on, what, if anything, they may have caught. But I understand from your previous interviews that nothing of any evidentiary value was caught. And also, in another statement you gave, I understand that the video of the two flashlights, and I'm saying that with air quotes, that's not exactly what that was at all.
See, he's saying y'all don't know what y'all talking about. Chris saying that y'all don't know what y'all talking about. That's why he put the little grin on his face because they talking about the air quotes. That's not exactly. He's saying that y'all we didn't see no lights. But if all the lights off and they had to walk past that garage, then no lights would come on the garage.
We now don't believe that two flashlights were observed around your home. Is that correct?
Yes.
You're very correct.
Okay. Question regarding your vehicles. Ms. Proudfoot, what make and model do you drive?
I drive a Infinity SUV.
Year?
2017.
And, sir, what do you drive?
I drive a diesel truck, Chevrolet.
Year?
I don't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a 2021, I think.
So, your Infinity SUV was parked in the garage or outside the garage that night, Ms. Proudfoot?
In the garage.
In the garage. And, Mr. Proudfoot, your vehicle was on location in Memphis. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So, there's only one car at the home. Is that right?
There was actually a work vehicle in the driveway at the time as well, but it hasn't moved. We can't give out that information because we don't have permission from her work.
I don't understand that. What?
About the make and model of the vehicle.
I have a work van that was also parked in the driveway.
Why is that?
What they
Out
saying?
in the driveway where people can see it. Why is that privileged information?
We just don't have permission from her company to divulge that information.
I mean, what? I mean, not just to tell her that her work card. What's she reading now? What's she looking at and reading? What is wrong? What's the problem? Why she can't say that her work card? Everybody leave their job card at home. They work card at home and stuff. That ain't nothing. What's up with the workplace? Maybe we need to check the workplace, y'all. They might need to check the workplace.
Have you asked?
No, ma'am, we have not. Nobody's asked us
So
that
that
question.
Okay. So you have a work van. Question to you, Ms. Proudfoot, what do you do for a living?
I am an installation technician.
That
Gosh, you're an installation technician. Go on, girl. You know how to do all that? Well, all righty. So now we understand that there was two cars in the driveway. There was the work car and there was the Infinity. The stepdad car wasn't even at home. It was on the job because he was on the phone at 12 o'clock when he talked to his wife. Nobody never asked him the question, what time did he leave out the house to go to work? Nobody asked that question. Why? I don't know. Ask him what time did he leave to go to Memphis, Tennessee. Memphis, Tennessee, not but 3 hours from the house. Why he had to be gone a whole day? What time did he leave? Okay, that's important too.
At night, was the work van blocking your driveway? Could someone go in and out of your driveway?
The van is parked at the back of my driveway, so someone can pull in, yes.
Got it. Do you park your Infiniti SUV in the garage or outside the garage?
In the garage.
In the garage. Do you have an automatic garage door?
With the clicker.
Right. Do you leave that up or down at night?
Down.
Could anybody lift it up? Like, is there an on and off button outside, or do you have to know a code or have the clicker to open it?
You'd have to know the code or have the clicker.
Does Sebastian know the code?
Not to the garage door, but to the man doors.
Okay, now this is what about to trip her out. Cause Sebastian don't know he don't know the garage door number. He really don't have to know the garage door number, cause you can let that up with the machine. So now he knows the number to the. Now she gonna get to the number to the house, y'all. Listen to this. She about the man door. He know those numbers.
Not to the garage door, but to the house doors?
The regular door, yes.
So is there a code to get in your home, or do you use your regular key?
There's a code.
And he knows that code.
Yes, ma'am.
Sebastian's smart.
Question. I'm just trying to figure out how he would have gotten out, or if somebody came into the home. Could they have gotten through the garage door? No, unless they know the code or had the clicker, which they did not.
They couldn't have got in the house unless they got let up, use the remote to get in there. Okay, and he don't need to know the number to get out the house. He don't need that number. He needs that number to get in the house.
Do you lock your doors at night?
Yes, ma'am.
Could he have left on his own through those doors?
He could, yes, ma'am.
But I heard in another interview where Mr. Proudfoot said he was not a, quote, wanderer. He didn't wander around. He had never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the door.
Maybe he did he get in trouble when he went out with you? See, I got so many questions to ask her. I ask her, did he get in any kind of trouble, or did he did anything unusual when they was out having fun? What did he do? Did he talk back to her at home? What did he do? Some just ain't right.
Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
Well, then from where?
That's what we were hoping that neighborhood ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha. I want to go back to that night. You said you were up till midnight. You were reading something. What were you reading?
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
I was, yes, ma'am. I've since dropped my classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone. You put the dogs away in a cage, a crate, inside the home, and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
She said around
Just a
10.
thud.
A thud.
She went to sleep around about 10. And she heard a thud. What? Why she say that word? Why she say that?
You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did
You near his room. Look, I guess he trying to hear what she's saying because he trying to see if her story is going to add up to what she told him. So now she was on the couch and it's near his room. And she was on the couch and it's near his room. So he was right there on the if she was on the couch, she would have known that he would have went out that door. Unless she got out the couch and went in there and got in her bed. So she read the book sitting on the couch.
you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
Oh, okay. See how you could have to go back, y'all? Listen to what she said. She asked him what he was doing in there, in the room, and when she heard that noise. And listen to what she's saying. So when she heard that thud, she said he responded back to her. But she making it sound like his room door is open and she right across from him. Because she said his room is near her.
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
I was, yes, ma'am. I've since dropped my classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
You don't even know what you're studying.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone. You put the dogs away in a cage, a crate, inside the home, and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Earlier you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m.
So he went to sleep at 10. Usually, if kids got to get up that morning, they'll let them go to sleep around by 8. Get in the bed around by 8. Take a shower. Everybody take their shower. And they lay down and they be in the bed at 10 chilling. Don't mean they going to go to sleep. So 10, y'all. Remember 10 o'clock. And remember, she went to bed at 12. So that 11 o'clock in there.
What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud. You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And
Now, see, he responded to her. She said, Bubba, did you fall out the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. Bubba, did you fall out the bed? No, ma'am. Well, what was the noise? What was the noise then?
I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
Whatever you doing in there, knock it out and go to sleep. Did you fall out the bed? So why Mama did just say that it was a loud bump on the, it was a loud noise on the floor, like he fell out the bed, and not instead of thud. No, if he fell out that bed, it said boom. How did he fall out that bed? And Mama said, have you fall out the bed? And he said, no, I didn't fall out the bed. He is responding back to her, y'all.
So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Mulch.
Mulch. Okay. Got it. Has he ever gone out the window before?
No, ma'am.
Is his room on the front of the house or the back of the house?
Hold on. I want to get back to this. I want to go back to this. I got to go back to here. I got to go back to here because this is the first time I'm hearing this. I want to go back to right here. Hold on.
Wander around. He had never left the home before on his own. Is that right?
Correct. We haven't had issues with him running or taking off in the past.
Okay, let me ask you a couple of questions regarding the doors. Do you have any home surveillance, anything at all that would have given us an idea or a clue if the door had been opened or not, or a window?
Not directly from our house.
Well, then from where?
That's what we were hoping that neighborhood ring cameras and may have picked something up.
Gotcha. I want to go back to that night. You said you were up till midnight. You were reading something. What were you reading?
A chapter for school.
A chapter for school. Are you in school?
I was, yes, ma'am. I've since dropped my classes for the time.
What are you studying?
Business administration.
She don't even know what she's studying.
Gotcha. Where do you go to school?
DeVry.
So that night you go to bed at midnight after you've been talking to Mr. Proudfoot on the phone. You put the dogs away in a cage, a crate, inside the home, and you go to bed. Did you check on Sebastian at that time?
I did not.
Okay. Do you normally?
Not typically. Since he's gotten older, I've not been checking on him as frequently throughout the night because normally he's good to go in his room once he goes to bed.
Early.
I don't care. When mine was 13, 14, I still checked to make sure they was in that room. Ain't nothing changed. And I'm about to go by that room in the middle of the night and see is everybody in their room. I know that door locked in there.
Earlier, you had stated you heard a noise in his room before you went to bed. What time was that?
Now, y'all, let's examine this. Let's examine this. Listen to this.
Around 10 o'clock.
10 p.m. What did it sound like?
Just a thud.
A thud.
It's just a thud. If it was just that, you would have said, you wouldn't have said, did you just fall out that bed? Why was that noise in his room, y'all? Why was that noise in Sebastian's room? And then somebody in the chat said, I take a shower monthly. That gave me a point. Did he take a shower before he go to bed? See, I took that very personal because she didn't say he took a shower or nothing. She didn't say he take a shower. My mama didn't say that.
You stated that you said, look, I don't care what you're doing in there, go to bed. Is that right?
I was on the couch, which is near his room, and I said, Bubba, did you fall out of the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. And I said, well, whatever you're doing in there, knock it off and go to sleep.
Bubba, if you fell out the bed. Did you fall out the bed in there, Bubba? No. What was the loud noise in his room? What was that loud noise in his room? When he felt, she said, did you fall out the bed? He said, no. Well, whatever you doing in there, knock it off. And go to sleep. What was he doing in that room? Did he let somebody in the window and they fell on the floor? What was he doing in that room? Sebastian was doing something in that room. Because he's speaking back at the mother, y'all. He's speaking back at his mom.
Sleep.
So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Well, y'all, let me ask y'all something. Listen, y'all. I said maybe somebody was in his room and they fell on the floor. Maybe he was trying to climb out that window and he fell and hit the floor. What y'all think? Because she asked him, said, did you just fall out the bed? So the noise that the mama heard was a noise of someone falling. Right? Because she said, Bubba, did you fall out the bed? And he said, no, ma'am. Think about it, y'all. Was he trying to get out that window and fell down, fell back on the floor? Because why would she ask him, did you fall? Bubba, did you just fall out the bed? That means that whatever that noise was a hard noise. Like boom. Because y'all know how hard it sounded when you don't fall out the bed. And he said, no, ma'am. So was he trying to get out that window? And he fell and hit the floor? Because she never would have brought that up, y'all. So did he try to get out the window?
Mulch or mush? So you heard his voice at 10 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any idea what the sound actually was?
I do not know.
If he were to go out his window, what would he step on?
Mulch and bushes.
Did you say mulch or mush?
Mulch.
Mulch.
Mulch. Okay. Got it. Has he ever gone out the window before?
No, ma'am.
Is his room on the front of the house or the back of the house?
Front.
Front. Do any of your neighbors' ring cams point toward your house? Could they pick that up?
They do, but it's so dark that they can only see it after it gets so dark at night. They can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on.
You can get, yes, you can, even though it's dark. I could see my neighbor's house across what's going on over there. If they don't have their light on. But had the neighbors decided to take the camera to where the folks can chat, they can call Ring the company and let them see what. I know they already investigate those Ring cameras. I already know.
On the opposite side of the house.
Okay. Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced Sebastian left without shoes on? Or are you?
Well, the reason that came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
How you know? How you know all of his shoes was accountable? So you said they and count all his shoes, mama. Cause sometimes we can buy children shoes and we'll be forget what we don't bought for them.
I'm positive.
How do you know what clothes he was wearing?
Let me show y'all him right here. Hold on. I'm trying to show y'all the older picture. Trying to show y'all the older picture.
Front.
Front. Do any of your neighbors' ring cams point toward your house? Could they pick that up?
They do, but it's so dark that they can only see it after it gets so dark at night. They can only see certain things where there's light.
I thought there were the two lights on.
On the opposite side of the house.
Okay. Can we talk about Sebastian's shoes? Why are you convinced Sebastian left without shoes on? Or are you?
Well, the reason that came about is because all of his shoes are accounted for inside the house still.
Are you positive?
I'm positive.
Okay, this is Sebastian right here. I guess this Sebastian when he's older. Look just like his daddy. Look like a nice little boy. Just don't seem like he get in no trouble. And them shoes back there, them shoes ain't at the door, is it, y'all? I wonder where they took this picture at. Because they said all the shoes be at the front door, but them shoes ain't at the front door. So unless he over somebody else's house. But he got off the shoes though. Well, them shoes not in the living room. Hold on, y'all. Them shoes not in the living room. I'm just saying. See where them shoes at?
How do you know
Huh?
what clothes he was wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
Are you serious?
Okay, my thing is why is Sebastian fully dressed? But and then too, y'all, in the summertime, we do sleep with sweatsuits on. Now, I'm looking at the pose of this boy right here. This ain't the same pose that he giving me. This pose that this young man giving me right here. And what kind of trophies that he's standing by? This pose that he giving me is not the pose right here. Hold on. God, hold on, y'all.
Inside the house still.
Are you positive?
This. See, this pose that he got, I wonder how old was he right here. Because he 15 now. And mom said he had hair on his face. So this still must be a younger picture of him. Because he more of a teenager on this one right here.
Positive.
How do you know what
This
clothes
the
he was
baby.
wearing?
The clothes that we described are the ones I saw him in when he went to bed.
Right here. Now this more like he 15, 14, or 15, 14. This one right here, him a 14. And what kind of trophy is that? Is he just posing by a trophy? Or is that his trophy? And what kind of trophy is that? See his pose and stuff. He's don't he not posing like them other pictures.
That morning, you woke up at 6 o'clock. Is that the normal time you wake up?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you a heavy sleeper?
Off and on.
Off
Do
and
you
on.
take any medication at night that would make you sleep?
Hold on.
No, ma'am.
If you're a heavy sleeper, you are a heavy sleeper. It ain't on or off. If you're a heavy sleeper, you're a heavy sleeper. If you're a light sleeper, you're a light sleeper. I'm a very, very light sleeper. It ain't no sometimes.
But you heard nothing.
I did not know.
So we know he is alive and well at 10 p.m. At 6 a.m. He's gone. You say he's never left before. Is that right?
Correct. He's never run off before.
And could I confirm, where was his bio dad at the time he went missing?
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
See, see, Nancy thinking like me. Because I said, where was Self? I said, where was Self when they went on that, when they went to that, uh, when they went out that day. When he having such a good time, like he was gonna be put up for some days. I said, where was Self? Now the biological daddy, now she asking a question about the biological daddy. And she ain't gonna say nothing to her Chris feeling because that's her baby.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
And Mr.
Come on, baby. You got to help the people out looking for your child. You ain't gave no kind of help. The only help you gave out is you heard a bit noise on the floor, and you ask him, said, Bubba, did you fall out the bed? He said, no, Mom. So that made me think, did a child come through his window and fell on the floor? Did Sebastian try to climb out the window and hit the floor? Because she didn't hear no more noise after that.
So,
Okay, you left town at the early February. What you say? You just said went to February. That's when he came missing in February. That ain't nothing. You're not helping us out. Y'all ain't helping nobody out.
missing.
I believe he was at work in Nashville.
Had there been any family argument or altercation prior to him going missing?
No, ma'am.
And Mr. Proudfoot, when did you leave town?
Early February.
Early February. What is going on in that house? What is going on in that house? Because Chris wasn't there, y'all. Why are we blaming Chris and Chris wasn't there? That's what I want to know. Why are we blaming him and he was at work? He wasn't at home, period. Why are we blaming Chris? Only she know what happened. But she didn't get up out the bed to go see what was the noise going on in the room. Because when she asked him, you just fall out that bed, Bubble? Y'all, that was a hard noise. Come on, y'all. That noise was hard for that mama. I'm surprised she didn't jump out that sofa to go see what was going on in that room. But now she laid on the sofa as usual, like most moms would do. Lay on the sofa and said, Baba, did you just fall out that bed? No, Mom. Whatever that mess you do, whatever you doing in there, you better cut it out and go to bed. That noise was so loud till she heard the noise. That lady act like something going on with her. Something is going on with her.
So, you had been gone for days before he went missing. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, if Chris been gone days before all of this happened to Sebastian, the question is again, why are we blaming self? I'm probably saying the name wrong, y'all. Not Self, but Chris. Why are we blaming Chris if Chris wasn't there? That ain't fair, y'all, for us to blame Chris if Chris wasn't at home. He wasn't even there in February. He left in February, early part of February. So she is South. What y'all know? But allegedly, y'all passed the lie detector. What kind of test did y'all take? Somebody know where that boy is. Somebody know.
Had you visited home since you left?
So you said from when I initially left?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. I came home February 26th, the morning I was told he was missing.
From the time that you left for the job in Memphis to February 26th, did you visit the home?
Yes, ma'am.
When?
I was home. I can't give exact dates. Law enforcement has told me not to provide exact dates, but I had been home multiple times prior to February. And then I left early February and then didn't come back to.
This man here always bring up the law enforcement. The law enforcement tell him. The law enforcement is on the one telling you what to do. It ain't even telling her what to do. It's telling you what to do. And I don't understand that. Why are they telling you what to say?
Till February 26th. The morning he was missing.
So you were not home from the time you left early February till Feb 26. Is that right?
Correct.
Where were you living in Memphis?
I have an RV trailer that I stay in at an RV park.
RV park? Okay. Following back up on that morning, you search the home, Miss Proudfoot. Then you get in your vehicle and you start searching. Did Sebastian know how to drive?
No, ma'am.
Was your car in the same location when you woke up that morning as it was the night before?
Yes, ma'am.
Has your car been searched by police?
Multiple times, yes, ma'am.
Have scent dogs looked at your car?
Yes, ma'am.
So your car's in the same place. You get in the car, you start looking in the neighborhood for him. Is that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Then you call Mr. Proudfoot, right?
I believe I was already on the phone with him at that point.
Okay. Question. Who called 911?
I did.
You did.
Yes,
What
ma'am.
time?
Without looking at a call log, I can't give you the exact time, but on or about 6:20.
So that was pretty good. That time right there was pretty good. I think Chris will make it sound more sense when he called the police. It just-
And had you guys been talking on the phone before 6 a.m. or did you initially call Mr. Proudfoot at the time you realized Sebastian was gone?
I called him when I realized Sebastian was gone.
Here's what you need to know about trying out.
She said she called him.
Anna. I'm a
She
nurse
called her
practitioner here.
husband when she found out that Sebastian was gone. Wonder why she called. So I wonder why she called Chris.
Been out looking for Sebastian.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
We were given information that you guys have left the home. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
I'm going back to work.
So they might not know what you mean by they left the house. They left the house. And Chris went back to work. Her child is missing. Why did she ride with Chris? That's crazy, man. Come on, man. Your child missing. And you don't even act like it. You act like he ain't missing. Come on, help us out.
You're going back to work. What about you, Miss Proudfoot?
No, I'm not going back to work.
Why you turn your head like that? No, I'm not going back to work. Why you? Ooh, Lord have mercy. I don't know so far. So far, he where he's supposed to be and she not where she's supposed to be. It sounds like Chris where he's supposed to be and Katie not where she's supposed to be. Katie running from where she's supposed to be. What she scared of? The reason why she left the house.
Not yet, at least.
Did you leave the home also, Miss Proudfoot?
Yes, ma'am.
Why?
To accompany my husband going back to work, and then I'm coming back.
You want to accompany you want to accompany your husband going back to work, and then you were coming back. Come on, Katie, that don't make no sense. And you know more than what you're saying then, because this man right here is playing fair, and you're not. Allegedly, it doesn't seem like it. That man don't need no company going back to work. Anything, he should be accompanying you and your son. But he got to go make the money. Why did you don't have to go?
Okay, when will you be back? Do you know yet?
No, not yet.
Are you concerned about being away while the search is ongoing?
Absolutely, I am.
Absolutely. Ooh, yes, okay, right. Y'all, the name of G, tell me what's going on right here. No, 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 no. No, you're not. Absolutely. No, 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 no. Why are you trying to? Now you want Chris to be your shield? You want Chris to be your shield. But you didn't need Chris to be your shield when you was at home with Sebastian. So what you afraid of?
Then why are you going?
Thank you.
Because my son could be anywhere, and we're looking everywhere.
Katie, do you sound, you know how you sound? Your son just went out the house at 10. You went to bed at 12. He wasn't there at 6. And you going to say he might be down in Memphis, Tennessee? But then you just said you wanted to accompany your husband back to work. And then you were going to come back home. But now you just not said where, looking anywhere, everywhere. I don't know about you. I don't put this on Chris. I feel like Katie was irresponsible somewhere. I don't put this on Chris. I don't know why we blaming Chris. And she older than Chris. She may be playing games. Chris the one being honest in her. It seemed like to me because he wasn't there.
And anywhere.
I ain't right about that.
I've got a question for you.
Why don't you ask her, do she go to church? And what church is she a member of? Ask her about the religion. Because when you marry, like their values come somewhere, plays a role somewhere. Family values are very important.
I want to find out about Mr. Proudfoot hitting Sebastian with a belt. What happened?
That was actually several years ago, and it
To
was
Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. To Mr. Proudfoot. Mr. Proudfoot, what happened?
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I misunderstood. I thought you were asking me.
See, he he ain't even thinking about what Nancy talking about. He ain't even thinking about what Nancy talking about. They looking at the chat. They instead of reading the chat, it's don't need worry about what the chat say.
Katie, Sebastian got in trouble. He got caught lying, and I had asked him. I said, "Hey, you got to have a punishment for this." He says, "Yes, sir." I said, "Okay." So I gave him a swat with a belt on his buttocks on the outside of his clothes. One swat.
What did he lie about?
Wow. Y'all let these stepdaddies whoop on y'all children when they dad is alive? What? The daddy is alive. Why is Chris spanking the baby? Now, Chris, I was on your side with everything else. But I know you said this happened a while back. You had him in squat position. You hit somebody else child outside his clothes. I wish dare I let a stepdad touch my kids.
I honestly don't remember at the time, but it was probably something dealing with school because that's majority where his issues lie.
Did he have other issues at school?
Some behavioral stuff, but nothing too crazy.
It got to be something crazy because you said that's where we coming from school. And why you letting another man discipline your child? And his daddy can do that.
What kind of behavioral stuff?
He has a hard time, obviously, awkwardly socially, like blending in with students. So it's a little. He's trying to figure out how to do it, but respecting people's space. He gets a little too close, and then kids don't really accept that too much. So
But if Sebastian is behaving like that too much, so he in people's space, where is he getting this behavior from? Where are he getting that from? Being out up in people's face like that. So that made me think that whoever she took, whoever that person was, something happened when they went out that night. When she and her son and her cousin them went out that night. She not telling us everything. What did Sebastian do?
causes an issue, but he'll not stop and he continues on. So then it causes an issue, and instead of being honest about it, he'll lie like, "No, I didn't." Okay, Sebastian.
So that means Sebastian need help, and you didn't give him no help. He need help. He's doing stuff out the usual to other kids that not supposed to be happening to him. So what did you? Only way he gonna stop it if he has to be taught that he has to be learned. He has to be in therapy for that kind of stuff.
Or lying about doing
Was that the first time? Was that the first time you had ever hit him with a belt?
Yes, ma'am. The one and only time, actually.
When was this? Any idea how many? 3, 10, 1?
Uh, it probably at least 3 years ago.
How that turned into a CPS or Child Protective Services complaint?
Neither.
How were they alerted that you hit him with a belt?
That did not turn. That did CPS service call.
What did?
There were other CPS reports, right? Were they regarding your other child?
There is one in regards to my daughter that I know of out in New Mexico with my ex-wife and myself.
What happened?
At the time, my ex-wife had fled to New Mexico with my daughter. We're going through a custody and a divorce case at that. And at the time, when I'd call and try to check in on my daughter, I could never reach my ex-wife at that time. So a welfare check was requested. Law enforcement told me to call CPS if I had concerns. So I called CPS. Law enforcement did make a welfare call, and that was it.
Then how does that turn into a CPS complaint against you?
He's thinking.
I have no idea, ma'am. There's a lot of misinformation out there right now in regards to my New Mexico case that actually has no relevance to the Sebastian case.
Then was there even a CPS complaint against you in New Mexico?
Not that I am aware of. My attorney and myself are well educated on my case, and there's nothing that we know of.
Was there a TRO taken out against you regarding
Yes, ma'am.
your daughter?
Not a TRO, but a TPO.
A temporary protective order. Why was that taken out?
So in regards to that case, my ex-wife had a TPO put against her in Tennessee at the time. When we went to court, that got dissolved. I was
Wait a minute. In Tennessee, that where your job was in Memphis. How long she been out of Tennessee? Was she in Mexico when you were working there out there in Tennessee? Was she in Mexico then? Mm.
my daughter back over to my ex-wife at the time. She gets in a truck. She flies to New Mexico. 2 days later, she files one in retaliation.
Retaliation.
Is it still in place?
No, ma'am, that was dropped within, I think, 2 weeks of it being put in place.
I've got a question about the belt incident. You're telling me that was the only time that you ever hit Sebastian with a belt.
Yes, ma'am.
And you're also telling me that did not make it to CPS?
No, ma'am, that did not.
Question.
Yes, ma'am.
Regarding Faith's furniture.
Yes,
A few
ma'am.
days after Sebastian goes missing, did you replace furniture in Faith's room?
No, ma'am, I have not replaced any furniture in my daughter's room.
Is there any new furniture in the home?
Yes, ma'am, there's a bed that was given to me and it's currently in my garage.
It's a bed that since Sebastian been gone. It's a bed in his garage that was given to him because they said that a lot of things he was doing on the mattress. I just can't understand him wetting his pants, how smart he is. I just can't see Sebastian doing that, y'all. I'm sorry. I just don't see him. He know how to he know the pass code on the why he can't go to the bathroom. It's something ain't right about that. Something ain't right.
Has anything been taken out of the home?
No, ma'am.
I was curious about a statement that Miss Proudfoot made earlier that canine dogs hit on the barn around the home and near a retention pond. Did that happen?
I'm not sure about the barn, but the retention pond, yes.
Because law enforcement says the dogs did not hit. But Miss
There's
Proudfoot
been
says they did hit around the retention pond.
So there's been a lot of miscommunication.
No, she said the police said. She ain't asking you about what people saying. See, that's the problem. Y'all worry about what they saying in the chat. Don't worry about the people in the chat. They don't know what they talking about. The police said it wasn't. No. He said it wasn't. And y'all said it was.
As to what is and what is not, to help clear that up. Law enforcement has actually spoken directly with me, showed me a few things. What I can tell you is from day one, there was 5 dogs that started the sent for the search.
Let me ask y'all something. Why is the police officers having all this talk with him, with Chris, and Chris is not the father, and that's not his child missing? I'm not blaming Chris. I'm saying the police is talking to Chris and ain't telling Self nothing. They telling listen, y'all. Something ain't right in this case. Something ain't right in this case. They are talking to Chris more than they talking to Self. Seth, that's his son. But they talking it if something ain't right. And they can't tell Seth. So they telling Chris. Whew. Lord have mercy.
I'm not sure about the barn, but the retention pond, yes.
Because law enforcement says the dogs did not hit. But Miss Proudfoot
The dogs did not hit the retention pond, y'all. Why were y'all putting that out there that the dogs hit the retention pond? And it didn't.
says they did hit around the retention pond.
So there's been a lot of miscommunication in regards to what is and what is not. To help clear that up, law enforcement has actually spoken directly with me, showed me a few things. What I can tell you is from day one, there was 5 dogs that started the scent for the search. And then after that, from the next 8 days out from that, there have been dogs from all over the country that have come in and done searches and had scent hits in various locations. But I would say,
I'm gonna tell y'all where y'all people made a mistake at with Sebastian case. Nobody had no business out there if they wasn't law enforcement looking for Sebastian with dogs, with their dogs, or nothing. Y'all messed up the whole investigation when y'all brought y'all own people in and y'all brought y'all dogs in. Y'all messed up that whole investigation. Them dogs gonna pick up anything now. But I think that the people move too fast. Let the investigators do their job. But bringing a lot of people in on this investigation could have messed up a whole lot of stuff. That's why the dog picking up scents, different smell and stuff, because y'all don't brought y'all dogs out there trying to be investigators. Whew.
a certain percentage of them tend to go toward the same spot, which would have been a retention pond.
So the law enforcement dogs did not hit on the retention pond. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying they did. There was at least 3 that I know for a fact that did hit on the retention pond.
Wait a minute.
And the pond is...
Hold on. Wait a minute.
There was nothing there.
Hold on. Now, Chris, you just said that it was 3 of them that hit on the retention pond. Now, there you go telling people that there was 3 dogs that did hit the retention dog pond when Nancy asked you that. Oh, Lord, how much? This crazy. This is crazy. See, she just used psychiatry on you. That's what she did.
Yes, ma'am. They have walked it, drained it, and there's nothing. The retention pond was only knee deep anyways.
On one occasion, Mr. Proudfoot, you stated that you and Mrs. Proudfoot have been, quote, vetted and cleared of foul play. That was stated on Chronicles of Olivia. Is that true? What do you mean by that?
Yes. So after working with law enforcement of all agencies, they have actually told us that there is no foul play, no nefarious issues. We've been cleared of all wrongdoing. We are working extremely cooperative.
Okay. The law enforcement saying that they are cleared. No foul play is involved with them. With them. Okay. They have been very cooperative and they cleared them from. But the officer said on the news that they haven't cleared anyone from foul play. But he said that they cleared them.
All law enforcement agencies at any point in time that they've called, come to the house, anything.
Was Sebastian angry or upset before he disappeared?
No, ma'am.
Not to my knowledge.
What is your
Well,
theory?
well, you can't have no knowledge. You can't have no knowledge of him being upset with you there because you been gone. So it's going to be hard to answer that question because you've been gone since February. So you can't answer about the knowledge question.
Sebastian,
I wish I knew where he was, to be honest.
your theory.
I think it's possible that someone has my son.
Now, her theory is someone has to have the son. So that big knock, thud, whatever she heard, hit the floor. Because she wouldn't have never thought it hit the floor. Why are they hiding Sebastian? I'm not saying them. Somebody is allegedly hiding him. Because when he hit that floor, she said, Baba, did you fall on that? Did you fall on the floor now? And he said, no, ma'am. And then he was gone that day. So what's he trying to get out that window? Who Sebastian was trying to go live with so he won't have to get whippings no more. So he won't have to get punished anymore. Where did he go? Who is protecting him? To me, it seemed like he went with someone. When she heard him fall, he fell on that floor. He fell on something in there, or somebody else fell.
Why?
Because I feel like if he had been close to the house or had walked off, that we would found him by now with as many people as we had searching.
The mama is telling you all, and that's a mother instinct, that somebody have her son. Somebody have her son. And she want them to return the son home. Is it that why that day? Why is he missing on that day? How long is it before Seth supposed to get Sebastian? Because Chris was at work, y'all. Chris was at work. We got to stop blaming Chris. Chris was at work. I know y'all don't care nothing too much about Chris, but Chris was at work. Then he came home.
Have you checked his social media?
He doesn't have social media.
Have you checked his phone?
His phone has been thoroughly checked, yes, ma'am.
His phone been
So recently I
thoroughly
realized
checked.
that I like someone
Okay.
special in my life. And let's be
See,
real.
you know,
Dating
people don't got
apps, well,
smart with
what is that?
these phones, y'all. They know if they have their phone, they can binge the phone. Let me hear what that man got to say. So if they getting smart with these cell phones. They didn't let him take that cell phone with him because that cell phone. Oh, hold on, y'all. I supposed to let y'all hear what she's saying. I'm sorry. Uh, with that cell phone, the phone didn't bing because she had the phone, but they thoroughly checked his phone. Somebody really careful in what they was doing right here. Hold on, y'all.
Has police searched all of your devices, your laptop, your iPad, everything?
Everything. Yes.
Other than you, Miss Proudfoot, who is the last person that saw or heard Sebastian alive the Sunday before he went missing?
Two of his aunts, a cousin,
Hold
and
on.
the staff.
Hold on. Two of his aunts, a cousin, and the staff where they was at was the last one to saw him. Two of his aunts need to be on him talking. And a cousin. Is that cousin a male or female? Y'all gotta tell her what happened.
At dinner.
And that was at BJ's the night before or the bowling alley?
So BJ's, and then we went to the bowling alley, and then after the bowling alley, we went to dinner before coming home.
Okay. Hold on. Hold on. You spending money, girl. Where you get that money from? Okay. Hold on.
Both of you.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, we have.
Has police searched all of your devices, your laptop, your iPad, everything?
Everything. Yes, ma'am.
Other than you, who is the last person that saw or heard Sebastian alive the Sunday before he went missing?
Two of his aunts, a cousin, and
Two of his aunts and a cousin and the staff. What y'all celebrating? What are you celebrating? Do they always have to go when you go to places like that to celebrate?
the staff where we had dinner.
And that was at BJ's the night before or the bowling alley?
So BJ's, and then we went to the bowling alley, and then after the bowling alley, we went to dinner before coming home.
We went to dinner before we came home. Not Chris, y'all. Chris went with her, okay? Before coming home, they went to dinner. Usually at those kind of things, y'all eat dinner there. Mm. It looked like that boy ought to be tired and wore out. Looked like he still wasn't wore out.
I want to follow up again on the dogs hitting. Earlier, Ms. Prophet had stated the dogs hit around the house, the barn, and at the retention pond. Is that correct?
I don't know about the barn, but I do know that they did track to the pond, yes.
Mm. See, there you go again. You said that. See, Nancy used psychology on y'all earlier. She tricked y'all. She said that the police said that they didn't pick up no scent in the retention pond, and then he did say that Chris did say that they picked up a scent, and then she said they picked up a scent. Hmm.
Did the dogs also hit around the house?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
On the outside of the house?
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Were they scent dogs or cadaver dogs?
They brought in both cadaver and tracking dogs.
Of course, they're gonna pick up his scent because he lived there.
Which dog hit?
Hold
A
on, y'all.
cadaver dog or a scent dog?
Scent
It's
dog.
all been scent dogs that have hit. The cadaver.
The cadaver dogs didn't hit, but the scent dog did pick up his scent because that's where he lived.
Dogs have not hit on anything that we know of.
What do you believe Sebastian was wearing when he disappeared? And would that have been what he slept in?
Yes. So the clothes, the black sweatpants with the white stripes and the long sleeve black shirt, that is what he went to bed in. And the reason that I believe he was still wearing those clothes is because when we searched, I did not find those clothes in the house. So I have to assume that that's what he was still wearing.
So she didn't find them clothes in the house. Did he wear them clothes when he went out that day, y'all? Did he have on them clothes when he went out? Did he take a bath or all of that and put on them clothes? What? We need to know everything.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Did you say that's what he wore when he went to bed?
Yes, ma'am.
What?
Joining us right now, in addition to
Hold up. She said, hold up. I know she ain't just said what, I know that mama ain't just said what I thought she said. The clothes that he wore to the bed is the same clothes that he had on when he went out. She didn't make that boy take no bath. What I be doing. So he gonna get up in the morning and go to school like that, wearing them same clothes that he had on. Come on, girl. He gonna wear them same. Oh Lord, have mercy, Jesus. Did she just say that? That mean maybe I made a mistake, didn't hear it right. Let me take it back.
and that was at BJ's the night before or the bowling alley?
So BJ's, and then we went to the bowling alley, and then after we went to dinner before coming home.
I want to follow up again on the dogs hitting. Earlier, Ms. Prophet had stated the dogs hit around the house, the barn, and at the retention pond. Is that correct?
I don't know about the barn, but I do know that they did track to the pond. Yes.
Did the dogs also hit around the house?
Yes.
ma'am.
On the outside of the house?
Yes, ma'am.
Were they scent dogs or cadaver dogs?
They brought in both cadaver and tracking dogs.
Which dog hit? A cadaver dog or a scent dog?
Scent dog.
It's all been scent dogs that have hit. The cadaver dogs have not hit on anything that we know of.
Okay.
What do you believe Sebastian was wearing when he disappeared? And would that have been what he slept in?
Yes. So the clothes, the black sweatpants with the white stripes and the long sleeve black shirt, that is what he went to bed in. And the reason that I believe he was still wearing those clothes is because when we searched, I did not find those clothes in the house. So I have to assume that that's what he was still wearing.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you. Did you say that's what he wore when he went to bed?
Yes, ma'am.
Joining us.
Yeah, be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You didn't even let that boy take a shower before he went to sleep. Wow.
Right now, in addition to Katie Proudfoot and Chris Proudfoot, the bio mom and stepdad of Sebastian, an all-star panel. First to Brian Trasher joining us, Vice
Okay,
President
I'm gonna
of the
skip this.
Search for Riley Strain. Up there searching around. We've talked with the lead investigator with Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, Agent Simmons. We've talked a lot with him
These look like two different boys. These look like two different boys.
and trying to coordinate efforts because we always try to coordinate law enforcement and make sure we're not getting in the way, duplicating efforts, or putting out any.
You know what, Mr. Trasher, let me just cut the chase here. Isn't it true that this weekend, pursuant to your search, that cadaver dogs hit in an area that had been closed off because of a prior hurricane, and it is on federal property? Bones and other items were found at that time. I found that very odd, as it would relate to Sebastian. Even if it was Sebastian, his body would not have been skeletonized at this time. Can you tell me now that what was found over the weekend is not connected to Sebastian? Yes, no.
No.
Not
All right.
connected to Sebastian.
That's correct. That hit was not connected to Sebastian.
Okay. Joining me also, in addition to
So
Brian,
they said that it wasn't nobody could condemn, like he said, them dogs did not sense, was not Sebastian.
And probably half a mile if you walk the whole path.
is it through wooded area? Would he have had to walk through the woods to get there?
No, ma'am. You can actually walk either the main road or the subdivision. So the construction site is a subdivision, new addition that's being built, and they have a road that's going to be tied into our subdivision. So you could actually walk up that way, or you could walk to the main road and walk into it.
Did Sebastian ever sleepwalk?
No, ma'am.
So he would have had to leave the house undetected by Katie and walk all the way to that retention pond. Did the dogs follow the trail a half a mile?
Yes, ma'am.
They followed the trail all the way to that retention pond?
Yes, ma'am.
That's very curious, since they are saying the dogs didn't pick anything up. Back to you, Brian Trasher. Did you guys search anywhere other than that federal property where the false positive was? Yes, no?
No.
Joining me is Courtney Lasky. Hi,
Oh, Lord. Jeez.
Invited, but had he been, yes, we have had play dates in the past.
would he go there on foot?
No, ma'am.
Hold on,
Joining me
let me
now
see what
is
she asked
Lauren
her.
Conlon,
What she asked him?
36%, it's to get out of an aversive situation. It's to get away from something that's overwhelming or overstimulating to them.
Miss Proudfoot, does he know your phone number? Can he call you if he could get access to a phone?
We have gone over my phone number. I don't know that in a high stress time he would remember it, but yes, I have taught him my phone number.
Was he ever allowed to go visit friends' homes?
He didn't get invited, but had he been, yes, we have had play dates in the past.
Would he go there on foot?
No, ma'am.
Joining me now is Lauren Conlon, investigative journalist, host of the Outlier podcast, on corruption, what happened to Grant Solomon.
Y'all, to be honest with you, I believe that
Then that federal property where they false
Chris, I believe that Chris is telling the truth, y'all. And she know more. That's her son, so I'm gonna think that she know more She might not even know nothing. She might not know nothing. But right here, I think that Chris is innocent. I don't think Chris know nothing. No more than what she telling him. He just played like that because I don't know. It's no room for playing. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see what else they got to say.
Me 911 immediately. And here's your chance to answer that.
Because by the time I realized my son was missing and I called my husband at that point, I was hysterical. I was at the point where I couldn't even form words anymore, and my husband is the one who remained calm enough to call them.
And to be honest with you, Miss Grace, the way we live outside of city limits, so you don't call 911 because you get routed to a dispatching hub who asks what's your location, and then they route you to another dispatcher to talk to give this story. I cut all of that out and I call it straight to the sheriff's department because they have jurisdiction of where we live. So sorry that I decided to bypass a few steps and go straight to the source where they responded within 10 minutes of the phone call being made.
Miss Proudfoot, that evening, were you drinking?
No, ma'am.
Had you used any type?
Oh, thank you, Nancy. You get to the question that I want to ask her. Oh my God. I don't know why I think that the lady had something. She had something, but why would he be missing even if she had something?
Type of drug at all, even OTC, over the counter.
No, ma'am.
And you had no argument with Sebastian that night.
No, ma'am.
You stated you put the dogs away into a crate before you went to bed. Is the crate located near the exit, near a door?
No, ma'am.
Would the dogs have barked if there had been an intruder or if Sebastian had left?
The dogs don't typically bark at me and Sebastian because they're used to us. Even if we get up, we come around, they don't typically bark.
No, the old Yorkie will bark now. They bark because they want you to pick them up. So I know that those Yorkies said something. Those Yorkies are not quiet dogs. They will make some noise. Even though it is you and Sebastian, he still would say, "Oh, oh, pick me up, pick me up, pick me up."
Strangers, they do tend to bark, at least for a minute or two to get attention. But no, ma'am, they don't typically bark at Sebastian and myself, or Christopher.
What kind of dogs are they?
Morkies.
Morkies.
Question: where is their
Still a
crate
bark.
located?
In the area near my sunroom.
Over by the
In
kitchen.
your son's.
That's not what you said at first. Oh, you say your sonny room. Okay, over by the kitchen. Okay. I think she getting on Chris' nerve.
Okay, hold on. Is
No,
it
son.
outside your son's room?
No, ma'am, not
Sunroom.
Sebastian's room. Son, yeah, yes, ma'am.
The sun room, and that's not near the door?
No, ma'am.
Not near the front door.
It's near my back door, but not any of the other doors.
I saw that room.
Yes, from what I've seen the layout of the home, it is near the back door, and they would have heard someone coming in and out that back door.
They would have
correct?
barked.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
No barking. Do you have a chime or anything on your doors that would alert you to the door opening?
No, ma'am.
Miss Grace, could I jump
Question.
in for something?
Yes, please. And I want to follow up with a question
Yes.
regarding Miss Proudfoot's polygraph. But please, Lauren, jump in. Everybody on the
Thank you.
panel, Now is the time to ask the Proudfoots any question that may shed light on what has happened to Sebastian. We are not in a judging arena. We are in a fact-finding arena. We can then assimilate the facts and make deductions. Please jump in. Lauren Conlon is joining me. You can find her at Lauren Emily Conlon. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. And now this might be for Brian as well. Yesterday, when the dogs hit and everybody's going crazy, YouTubers, internet, TikTokers, and we figure out it's not Sebastian and police are not involved, the TBI is not involved. Did you call the Proudfoots and let them know that this was not Sebastian? Did you tell them ahead of time that you were searching these areas? Did they know what you were doing, or was this specifically just through Seth Rogers?
Yes, Seth Rogers is Sebastian's biological father, correct?
Yes.
So that's what I asked y'all earlier. Why they was telling Krista they playing games. Y'all officers are playing games with the stepfather and the father. One minute y'all telling the father stuff, stepfather a whole lot of stuff. Then y'all start talking to the stepfather. Then now y'all going to south. It's some of y'all ain't playing this game right.
Yeah. So
Yes.
he was, and as Ms. Grace alluded to earlier, it would not have been it was typical or possibly even probable that he could have skeletonized after only a few weeks. So I'm not sure about the Proudfoots, but his father definitely did know. I also wanted to echo what Ms. Nancy said earlier about the police. One of the reasons we got called in, there was a lot of social media personalities reaching out to us, kind of complaining that they didn't feel like the police were doing enough. But really, it's just what Ms. Nancy said, is that they're not under obligation to give daily or every other day updates. They are doing an investigation. We have been in very close contact with TBI, and I can tell everybody with 100% certainty they are on top of it. They are not letting their foot off the gas at all on the search for Sebastian or trying to find out what happened to him. The YouTubers and TikTokers that do live stream probably do the most harm. We appreciate the attention that they bring to things, but when you do a live stream, you don't have any control over what gets seen by potentially the entire world. So we can't tell people what not to do. They have free speech. It's their own accounts they're using. It's not helpful to do live streams during searches like that. If you want to do it, do a video that you can potentially edit later, so that we cut down on the amount of misinformation. That's why social media is not necessarily a house we go in and do search and rescue. You have to trust the process, like we do. We trust law enforcement is going to have this wrapped up probably very soon.
Brian, however, I want to make sure that you are not encouraging citizen sleuths to.
That's what I just said, Nancy. Because it sounds like they playing games with the Proudfoots and they playing games with South. And you can't do that when you got them. You can't be trying to. You can't do that.
Looking, because I've had many cases where we put out the warning and they actually spot a missing person. I mean, I only have to point to Gabby Petito, whose remains were found in dispersed camping way out west by a citizen who had heard her case. So, sometimes their information is wrong, but there is no way in HELL that I would ask them to stop. And I know that's
right.
Headed. Yeah.
No, we don't want them to stop. Matter of fact, it was two citizen sleuths that found Riley String's bank card out by the bank of the Cumberland River
That's
in
right.
Nashville. So, like I said, they do provide a service. My only suggestion was maybe not doing live stream, maybe just video, and then you can edit and post later. Just a suggestion.
Oh boy, I tell y'all, what y'all think? What y'all think about what y'all just heard? I just, it's too much going on. It's too much. It's too much. It's too much. I think that the law enforcement, if they're gonna do anything, if you're gonna tell one parent something, you need to tell the other parent. I can't see why the parents ain't coming together. Why they not come together at this time? I just don't understand. Y'all tell me what y'all think, what y'all thoughts on everything that you heard about this child, this autistic boy, Sebastian Rogers, still missing since February. Chris wasn't even at home. And we have blamed Chris for the longest. You know, y'all like, share, and subscribe. I'm out of here.